So you have the skills and experience. Let's see what your resume looks like.
What's up, guys? I'm here to do a resume review. So I have a really nice person. They wanted me to review their resume. And if you want me to review yours, come to follow me on Instagram, WebTech Ninjas. That is where I will be doing my reviews from. They said he really liked a lot of the stuff that I had in my resume and portfolio. So he wanted help with his a college student and he needed some help. So this is me helping him out. And if you want me to help you out the same, just follow me here and shoot me a DM. Let's get into it. So there's not going to be any personal information displayed here. We're going to just call him John Doe. So at this resume, we at the top here, we have the name right here. Then we have a city and we have his address, phone number, email address. And one thing I like to say is that they hyperlinked everything. So that's one thing I should say is really good. They have it. This is a JPEG, but in their actual resume, it's a PDF and they hyperlinked everything. So that's one thing that I would say is a good thing that they did. Another thing is if you see over here, there's a QR code. Now this is for the advanced. So if you want to put a link to your portfolio or you want to put a link to some other thing that you have, this is a great addition to have. I actually don't have a QR code in my resume and I am considering adding one just because this is a great feature to have. If you're a web developer or you have some type of creative design resume, this is a perfect thing to have in your resume. One thing I want to talk about is that they have a very simple design. There's nothing fancy about it. And that is a good thing because in today's time, most employers and recruiters are not looking at your resume for that long. If even, they're running it through the ATS scanners, which is a bot that just scans for keywords and phrases. So all these fancy resume templates that you see online, they look pretty and they look fancy, great presentation, but at the end of the day, all of that is being stripped away and it's just text on a piece of paper to them or text on a document. It certainly does not help you in any way, shape, or form. It just makes the person that made it feel good. And a lot of times these ATS scanners can't even pick up the resume. It's with the fancy graphics and the fancy colors. A lot of these ATS scanners just can't register any words or text like that. So I would actually refrain from using those types of resumes. Now, if you're not in a professional role, if you're in marketing, graphic design, or if you're trying to do modeling or something like that, then I could see why you would want to use something like that. But for a professional role, especially this person, as you can see, they're engineering, so they're into tech. You don't want to use those fancy schmancy resumes. Another thing I want to say they did really well in is the fact that it's only one page. That is always a bonus. If you have less than 5 years of professional experience, try to keep everything to one page. Unless you have something extremely groundbreaking, I would keep it all at one page because recruiters are not going to be interested in it. At the end of the day,
Real quick, if you're tired of sending out resumes and getting nothing but silence or those cold automated rejection emails, I've got something for you. You deserve better than auto rejections. That's why I put together resume templates designed for professionals like you, plus a free ebook with unhinged secrets even your university won't tell you. If you want to give yourself a real shot at landing interviews, check it out. Link in the description.
most of these recruiters are not technical people, and even some of these employers aren't technical people. They look at your resume and they're looking for keywords and phrases. That's it. They don't know what most of it even means a lot of times. So let's go through this here. So they got their college and a couple of awards and stuff. They put a GPA. They have a good GPA. One thing I would say is if you have a little bit of experience under your belt, whether it's an internship or an actual job position, once you graduate, I'd either put my GPA as 3 point whatever. If it's below 3.0, I would omit that information entirely. But this is good, but it's a key indicator that you're new. So if you have a little bit of experience, I would completely take the GPA out. Now, once you graduate and you're looking for your first couple of jobs, then they may ask for GPA. I know for government positions, if you've graduated within 5 years, they're going to want to know what your GPA was. And he has expected graduation, so they have not graduated. They are still a student. So that's good to put. That way, the full-time positions can take that into account. That's not going to disqualify you, but it is going to make it harder for you to be considered for full-time roles. For internships, though, you're going to be golden. So we're going to go through relevant courses. I like how they put relevant courses and they put it in, it was like a table, but like I said, it's a bit sparse for now. I don't know how far along you are in your college journey, but I'm seeing some good things here. You want to keep that table. I like that table format. I've seen some people just list theirs out, separate it with commas. I believe this one is probably easier to read and probably going to help you out better in the long run. So this is a good format to have. The regular listing through comma ways it's not bad, but this is better. Now they have a link to their GitHub for their project section. If you are in the tech field, even in cybersecurity, you need a project section. You have to think about it from their perspective. Who wants to hire you if you have no practical experience and they can't see that you've done any actual work? Yes, it's good to have the certifications and the degrees, but they also know that some people, frankly, they cheat their way through these systems and they don't know how to actually do anything. So they want to see what you can actually do with the skills that you've learned. Make sure you're battle tested. So they have a couple projects here. I like how they listed the technologies that they're using. So this is really good. The only thing I would add is add some type of statistics that you have learned from this project. Talk about that some of the Spanish teams, their chances increased 20% during these months, or something of that nature. Give something that has numbers to it. That's gonna make this even better. But so far, this is awesome. You're talking about the technologies that you've used and what you used it for, and you have a link to your GitHub. I love it. Now we have Java number analytics quest, Java-based game where the computer randomly selects a number from 1 to 100, challenging players to guess it. I understand what you're doing here, but frankly, I'm just going to be honest with you from just a person trying to help. I actually think it's a good project to do as a hobby or as somebody who's learning, but I just don't think this project is good enough to put on a project for a resume. I don't think it's super impressive to employers. So if you want to do Java, I would say continue down the Java path and build something a little bit more worked out. Contact me after I do this video. When you're watching this, contact me and we could spitball some ideas and maybe even collaborate, because I'm trying to get my Java game up as well. This is interesting. AutoCAD 2D F-15 fighter jet design. Now, this is a good one to have, especially if you're doing something with 3D models or even construction. There's a lot of different applications for this. This is good to have on here. The only thing I would say is have some way to post the CAD files online and have it linked to the CAD files if you can get access to that. This is good. So first one is really good. This one right here, also really good. This one, I just don't think it's good enough to be something I would put on a resume. I wouldn't put on a resume. It's good that you're learning. I built a bunch of basic apps myself that I would never put on a resume, or much less my portfolio. We've all done it. It's nothing bad on you. Technical skills. Now, I like how you have programming languages, Python, SQL, Java here. If you can, learn some frameworks. So I know you have the Pandas library, NumPy, scikit-learn. Those are all good ones to have. And then you have Docker, Git, Postgres. So maybe, I don't know if you know these languages, but just add some basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript, just because you can do a lot through web development, web apps with that. Or if you don't want to go into web development, that's fine too. But just knowing those, it's HTML and CSS, you could learn that in both of those in a span of a week. You can get good enough with those. JavaScript, if you're decent with Python and Java, JavaScript's not going to be too bad for you either. Just because there's a lot you can do if you couple what you already know with web development. And I love how you have the AWS here. One thing I would say is talk about some things that you've done with AWS, because that's going to be a big one that companies are going to want to see on your resume. You may have it down further, so that may be something that I just haven't gotten to yet. All right, so now we're at professional experience. All right, so this is good right here. If you can give some type of quantifiable numbers or something like that, that would make this even better. Just go through any old papers or any old documents, emails, or anything that you've had from when you were at this place and see if you can remember or find anything visible that you can look at to add something quantifiable or something tangible to this. I like that you have AI here. That's a big one that's going to help you out. Like I said, another one that you want to add some type of results or statistics that you've gleaned. I like how you have collaborated with a team of 3, so it shows that you're good working in teams. And I believe here somewhere you said you led the blueprint design, so you show leadership skills. So it's not only important to show collaboration skills, it's also good to show leadership skills. Just it's some type of result or quantifiables here, and that's going to take it up a notch. Certifications. Ultimate AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner, Udemy. So I like how you have the Udemy certification. Unfortunately, companies don't really respect Udemy as it's not accredited. So you may have done the work, but companies don't really, it doesn't hold a lot of weight for them. But on the caveat, I'd say it does not hurt your chances. So keep it here. I would keep it here just because it shows that you've done stuff with AWS. I would actually go further, do some more projects and incorporate AWS. That's going to take it up a notch. See here we have database and SQL or data science, Python, IBM. Now this one used to hold a lot of weight. I remember a lot of people were going crazy over this certificate. However, in today's time, it doesn't hold the same weight that it used to. But like I said, keep it up here because it shows that you have knowledge in other areas. It shows that you went through some type of training process and you didn't just learn the whole thing from YouTube University. And you have some type of reference to knowing what you're doing. Now we're at leadership. Talk about the number of students. Just it doesn't have to be an exact number. Have it like an approximate number of students that you had in the Discord server. If you had any type of automations, talk about that as well. That's going to help you here. If you used any project management tools, I guess Discord is to some people, it's a project management tool. But if you used any other ones, definitely include that in there. So if you use so much as a Jira, learn how to use Jira if you want to really impress employers or something of that nature. Some type of project management tool. All in all, this is definitely a good starter resume. I'd say it's 7 out of 10. I'd say 7 out of 10. There's minor things that I would fix with it, and I would take that Java project out and build another project that's even better. I'd add some quantifiables and some result-oriented bullet points. Other than that, I think you're on the right track, man. You're on the ball. I'm excited to see what you do in the future. A lot of great technologies. All right, that's it for my resume review. I will be doing more. If you want your resume reviewed by me, follow me on Instagram, WebTechNinjas, all one word, and just shoot me a DM. I'm not going to charge you anything.